Welcome back to InvitationOnly, the podcast that shines light on entrepreneurs and influential brands in Dallas with the goal of revealing the most inspiring success stories. My next guest is a man of the cloth and the badge, who walks the beat with purpose and conviction. If you know, you know. From the pulpit to patrol, his journey is anything but ordinary. He brings wisdom, grit, and grace to every street corner he serves. Brought to you by InvitationOnly, please welcome the faith-fueled force of nature, Officer Andrew Cooper.
What an introduction. I love it. That's beautiful right there.
I make sure I show my respect to you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Because your decision to basically go from preacher to police officer is like... It intrigued me the moment that I saw that you did that, when I saw the picture online. So tell me a little bit about it. If you want to, let's start with your background as a preacher first.
Okay. So, yeah, pretty much that calling started as a little kid. I knew I was a little different. I found myself being 6 years old, preaching in my room with my little children's story Bible, that kind of thing. Parents used to record me and catch me. But it wasn't until I was 18 I knew in my heart and spirit that God had called me to share his word. I feel like we all are called to make disciples for sure. If we believe in that's the faith we follow, we all have that call. But I knew I wanted to teach and lead people. So at 18, I made that confession, started preaching, which you was there in my first sermon.
For sure.
And, that was amazing. I'm 30 now. I've been to Peru. I've been to New York, just different places, just spreading the gospel. So... hey, man, that's pretty much how that started.
And so what inspired your decision to leave the pulpit and join the police force?
In all honesty, I'm a straightforward, transparent guy, bro. Like, working in the church kind of drained me. I was so focused on the ministry to where I lost kind of my intimacy with God and with my relationship.
That's good.
Yeah, so
I feel like a lot of people in that position kind of go through that.
Yeah, man, because you're preparing every Sunday to share with people, and you're preaching and you're taking in other people's problems, which I'm still doing now, obviously, but you lose focus on the main thing, your first love, which is that communion with God. So, seeing things in the church and, just observing Jesus Christ's life, bro, is simple. Like, Jesus was in the trenches with people. Yeah. Jesus was in dark places, and I feel like most churches run from those dark places. So I said, I want to be out on the streets. I want to be in the mud with people and letting his light shine through me out there.
Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well said. Was there a specific moment, though, or event that made you realize that you wanted to make that change?
So I've been trying to be a police officer since COVID. But it wasn't the right time. I wasn't mature enough. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was doing it because I was hurt from a relationship, and I wanted to like boss up and be like, hey, I'm about to be this, I'm about to do that, I'm be making all this money, and that kind of thing. But now that I'm in it, if I would have had it then, it wouldn't have been well. I wasn't mature enough to handle this power and responsibility. So, dude, I've been trying for a long time, and I had my business for 4 years that was going well. And then I decided to work in the jail to see if I liked it.
Okay.
And being in the jail, being with the inmates and stuff was so fun to me. I got a thrill off of it. The fights, the having the conversation, everything. It was like so fun because, it was just amazing. So I was like, let me try this again. So I applied, bam, and it happened just like that.
Wow.
So 4 years of trying, and I finally made it.
So you're saying that it happened after you went to the jail?
Yeah, after I went to the jail. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, what about that moment do you think prepared you for what you now are, a police officer? What about like visiting the jail and kind of working in there? What about that process, helps you to get here?
Just pretty much, man. Me, I would say this. I feel like, I'm still a rookie, still wet behind my ears, but I feel like every police officer should work in the jail at some point in their life, because it teaches you how to respect everybody. You know, you have a pedophile coming in, a murderer coming in, and you still have to treat them with respect because they still have rights. You know what I'm saying? So that was a hard thing. And I say what pretty much prepared me for that is just honestly just being around it, exposing yourself around it, exposing yourself around all kind of police officers. You see the police officer you look up to, the police officer that's rude to jailers, rude to inmates that you don't want to be. You see all of those different things. So it's kind of like, you know, it's. I don't think the jail necessarily prepared me for it. I think it just have to be in your heart. But I do think that it just exposed me to a different level.
Interesting. Are there any moments you remember specifically from the jail that just kind of, you know, took you back a little bit? Yeah,
man. So it was this one day. It was just a normal day, like a Wednesday. And we had this guy, he was coming in, and he had mental issues, which you see a lot. So he had AIDS and stuff like that. Wow. So he came in bleeding, so we was already on guard.
Facts.
And as soon as he came in there, he just started running around the place trying to fight everybody, you know, little things like that. So I just remember that moment of like, oh, shoot, like this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just be chilling at any moment and somebody can just come in here being chill the whole time and just snap. And in the jail, you just behind these four walls. You don't have no guns. You don't have no nothing. It's just straight hands and straight technique. So I would just say I can't really remember the deep details of it because you see a lot, but it was just more of that vigilance, like stay vigilant, stay ready, and just be prepared like that. But bro, when I say it goes down in the jail, what really sticks out the most is the smell. That must stink.
Like what smell? Describe the smell if you could.
It's just like booty and socks, bro. It's just stink. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like it just stink, bro. Yeah. So just, you know, it's just like I can still smell it. I can still hear the doors, all the doors shutting, just all of those things. But the jail truly humbled me and made me ready for this to where now I'm not going to look down on nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think that seeing where you could possibly end up sending someone and having that experience of this is where they're going to be, is that what made you kind of respect it a little bit?
Absolutely. And it makes me show more empathy to people, you know, because in the day, you don't take everybody to jail. You don't take people to jail every day. It's kind of like a stereotype. Like you're doing a lot of counseling. You're being a dad to some people. You're being a lot of things. So sometimes there's certain offenses that, you know, you will get arrested on, but certain things that happen, it's like, okay. Like, let's say somebody have ticket warrants or something. Like, you know, they with their kids or doing something, they trying to go to a job interview. You can take them to jail if they have ticket warrants. But it's like, okay, this probably isn't the best place for this person right now. You know what I'm saying? Or at any moment. So seeing how it is in the jail, it does make me show more empathy to people. So if I take you to the jail, it's because you deserve to go. You earned it. Yeah.
Gotcha. What training did you get that prepared you for those moments?
Jail-wise or police-wise?
I guess jail-wise, like, because that was before police. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, I just went in.
Because that's a courageous thing to do, to go into jail and work with people you don't know who are considered to be, you know, they're inmates.
Yeah.
So,
I think the jail more dangerous than the streets, too. But I do think that we had like a little defensive tactics class, but it wasn't enough to like, oh, I can hold my own at any moment. I know how to be like Sylvester Stallone at any moment. It wasn't stuff like that. But it was just my experiences. Like, I didn't grow up hood. I didn't grow up in the hood, but have many friends. I lived in Oak Cliff a little bit, but just little things like that. I grew up getting into fights, learned how to defend myself, knew how to stand up for myself. You know me. I used to be a little hothead, just rampant, little short dude. So I think just understanding where you come from, understanding that everybody comes from different places, that prepares you for that. It's just you be you. You go in there like Drew and be Drew in there and respect folks. You ain't got to worry about nothing.
And he said that, like, prior to you becoming a police officer, you tried before and it didn't work out because you weren't mature enough. I guess, I think I already asked that question. I'm going to just skip that because I think I already know the answer to that question. I don't want to be redundant, but basically I was going to ask, like, and now I forgot the question.
It's all good.
So I'm about to cut all this out.
We flowing. It's all good.
So anyway, how did your congregation respond to you saying, or did you tell them, I'm going to go become a police officer?
So that's the fun part. Dude, I was working at a church in DeSoto. I literally woke up one day and just said, I'm done. So I still had events planned.
Ooh.
I still had all kind of things planned just on the table, but I was like so drained and stressed, bro. It was like taking a toll on me. Like I was having all kind of health issues, just crazy stuff, things you can't even think of. So I woke up one day and it was like, this is not what I want for my life anymore. I still desire to be a pastor someday, but you know, this life, I just can't deal with it. It's too fake. And I just feel like I can't walk in the fake. Maybe I had some mental things I need to clear up, but I couldn't walk in the fake. So I just woke up one day, said I'm done, and I'm going back to landscaping. And that's what I did.
And you told the congregation that?
Yeah, I told the pastor.
Yeah.
Told the pastor all of that, and then we agreed, love you, dapped up. It was all good. He understood, which I think we both were ready to go separate ways. I think, in all honesty, they were kind of ready for me to get out of there too, because I was kind of starting to cause a little backlash and confusion amongst, you know, staff meetings, things like that. So it was like, it was best. So we parted those ways. Yeah.
So that was my question before that I forgot. The self-awareness that you have now, do you feel like the process of you becoming a police officer, that's giving you more self-awareness about who you are and how things have affected you to become that person that you were? Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. I know we talk about that stuff later, but I did 8 months in the academy, and then been on the street for however long I've been on. Not too long, but you know, I got not a stripe yet, but I got a little sweat on me, little dirt on me. But that has made me a totally different person in how I think, how I view myself, because you always have to monitor yourself, always have to think about you're being recorded all day long. When you're driving, you're being recorded. You have a camera on you. Every time you're there, you're being recorded, so you always have to think about self. You have to have integrity to be in this field, because they're asking you things that nobody should know about, all these different things. So yeah, it definitely has made me more aware of myself in my family life, everything. Like, I'm a totally different person.
Yeah, I can see it for sure.
Thank you.
It seems like you have this clarity about who you are for sure. And I'm not saying that you didn't have, because you were already on that path to becoming who you are.
Yeah.
But it's like now at this moment, it seems like you got it. Like, and that's just me talking to my little brother, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I go to counseling once a week. Like, I have to. So that's something that I prioritize. So once a week, it may be virtual. Some days it may be in person. And shout out to my counselor, Brittany. But I go to Brittany once a week. Hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Declutter it. So things won't affect me while I'm on the street. So I won't get popped or do something crazy out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are there things that you've had to go to her after a day at work and talk to her about?
Yeah. I saw a 12-year-old girl get shot. I didn't see her get shot, but it was like my second week on the streets, and it's just a normal day. We chilling, eating. I'm typing a report, and it's like a emergency tone. It's go doo on the radio, and it's like, oh shit, and then it was shot. It was reported that a girl got shot. So going to that, I had to interview the mother, stuff like that, and just seeing her crying, irate about her daughter. Thank God the girl survived. Just seeing the parents be around their daughter scared, it made me think about my baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I went to go to counseling early, because this field, you have to detach from a lot of things. You can't make every call. No call should be personal. I can't be thinking about my family because I see a dead lady on the ground, you know, but it's natural. I'm human. So I make sure that whatever I see that can be traumatic or I can take home, I make sure I talk to that with her that next week.
That's good. How does your faith inform your law enforcement, protocols?
Yeah, man. So we have a strict, the department I work for, I love it because we have a strict policy. Some people don't like it because they want to do like all this other badass stuff, which you can still be badass. But I'm a little older now. I have a family. It's like, I want to do what I have to do. I want to get into stuff, but I want to do what I have to do. But my faith is my drive. because going into these dark places, you never know who you're going to encounter. You always have to have the word on you. You always have to have it in your heart, because you're going in dark places. You're going in places to where you can just feel the spiritual darkness on you, and you have to make sure that stuff isn't on you. Have to make sure you don't take that stuff home. So before a shift, I got to read my scripture, I got to pray, and I got to make sure I'm loving people the way God wants me to love people. So that's my goal every day. I'm going to love everybody on these streets like God wants me to love them.
Do you find any overlap between pastoring a congregation and serving as a police officer? Are there things that are similar? Are there things that are, way different?
To me, man, I think it's the same exact thing. It feels like I'm in the pulpit every day. I'm not as wordy. I can cuss at them now. I can, you know what I'm saying? I can do little things like that. I can say, bro, you being dumb. Like, that's stupid. But in the church, I can't do that. It's more filtered.
Yeah.
But I get to see people in their ugly. And that's how I like to see people. When they come to the church, when somebody brings their kids to you, the kids are so constricted, they don't want to talk, or the mother or parents not telling the full story. So I get to go into the house before they whoop their kids' ass, little things like that. So I get to see the ugly, and I get to minister to that ugly right there. So
I see.
So it's the same thing, bro. It's crazy, because I thought it would be different, but I was telling my mom the other day, I said, this church.
Yeah.
It's church. So it's the same exact thing, bro, honestly.
Yeah, I never believed that church was in a building. I mean, it never felt like that's what church was supposed to be.
It's not. It was never intended to be that.
The Spirit of God is free. And to confine it to this space, I have never been a good church member, I'll say that much.
Yeah, and a part of the Lord's Prayer, I cannot quote stuff well, but let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's very powerful. I feel like when we say that, we skate over it, because our everyday life, what we do on a daily basis, the people we surround ourselves should be diverse. It should look different. We should be around all kind of people, but the church and the building wants to be around people who are just the same. We all have to have the same income. We all have to have this same race. We all have to have this same belief or whatever, but how can you know that you have Christ in you when you're not around people who don't have him?
Ooh, that's a bar.
That's the Lord.
I should put you in the studio right now.
Man, let's go. Let's go.
I love that. Yeah, man. That's real. Man, that's that theology coming out.
Hey, man. That's my love right there. I love it.
Same question. Oh, that's a good one. How do you balance justice and compassion as a police officer? Like, do you pull from something, what makes you say I should? I mean, of course, it's your faith, right? You already kind of said that.
I would tell you this one moment. This is an example. It was a lady, she had warrants, right? A felony warrant at that.
Ooh.
I'm not letting it go, right? But easy, simple traffic stop. Oh, the car has warrants. I mean, the person in the car has warrants. Yes, you get excited. Not in a bad way, but you get excited like that. It's like, oh, shoot, what's about to happen? So I get to the car, and the lady has 3 little girls in the back seat. She on her way to take them to the track meet. Just a normal day. Y'all get dressed, brush your teeth, go to the track meet down the street, and then go home, do whatever. And I was so compassionate. I was like hurt. I was conflicted. I was like, oh my God, in front of the, that's just, and again, I'm thinking about my family. You know what I'm saying? Because people make mistakes. But I had to put compassion compassion stayed there.
Yeah, right.
I had to put my feelings to the side, that compassion to the side, and then enforce the law.
That's important. I like that you said it that way. Because you still are being compassionate, but you still have a job to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to, and I worked it out. I talked to our trainers are called corporals. I said, hey, I think I'm going to pull her to the back of the car because I don't want to do this in front of the kids. I don't want the kids see them handcuffed. I'm going to let her kiss her kids, tell her bye, mom, you'll be back. And that's how it went. And this was like, when I was on the way to the jail, we had great conversation. We was chopping it up, chilling. So I think it's just don't be an ass to nobody. Don't be ugly to people. And I don't know how we getting on the ugly, but I already forgot what you asked me. But just knowing that Just like when you're at your job, you're doing your job right now. There's certain things that you have to do. It's the same. Yeah. Sorry, but I got to enforce this because I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not easy, though. That's not always easy to do.
No, because, you know, you have friends, you have family who, you know, I've done things in my past. Like, nobody is perfect. And it's like, now I'm in this position to where I can take somebody's freedom away, and it has to be right. And you got to make sure that it's not invading people's amendments. You have to make sure that it's not invading I don't know the word right now, but going against the law, anything. Because the biggest thing for my job is not to end up dead or in prison. That's what you have to think about every day. So you have to know your stuff. So just like having that, like anytime I make a decision, I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be in black and white from the book, to where when I enforce it, and it's nothing personal.
Yeah. Have you had has any of your personal relationships changed due to you becoming a police officer? Do you feel like people look at you different now? Because, you know, in our community, we do not really usually like police.
So, yeah, I've been out the way. So I kind of been out the way, haven't been kicking it. And it's something that I do keep low key. Like, I'm not walking around like wearing the back the blue shirts. Like, I love it. That's what I stand. But I just feel like Drew in the badge and Drew outside of the badge are two different people. So when I don't have that uniform on, I'm not worried or thinking about it. So in my personal life, no, like it's honestly, it's been the same, but my circle being solid and small since. But no, I haven't had any changes in relationships.
So you do not compartmentalize that when you're with your friends, and like you're not going to arrest your friends if they, you know, I don't know. Of course, if they do something super crazy, you got to arrest them.
Yeah. Now, I do want to write a friend a ticket just because, like, see you speeding and just do it just because, just to pick fun at you. But no, I mean, there goes to the it's not personal part, and that's the hard part. And I will say, those are things that I did think about. Like, okay, I'm in a city to where I can see friends. If I see a friend doing something they're not supposed to be doing, what are you gonna do? And it's like, okay, I have to do my job and enforce the law, because then it won't be fair. Then it's like you can't pick and choose who you arrest. You know, little things like that. Yeah. But I would say there are certain things that's like, a lot of things I'm not even worried about when it comes to the law. Certain things it's like a shall, I am, but certain things I'm like,
you know, feel like there's bigger things to worry about in some cases.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Every call, every incident, every mistake doesn't have to go to the jail
or become legal.
Exactly.
Wow. I always wonder these questions. I'm glad I have a real friend who's a police officer that I could ask these questions to.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So now we're going to talk about a little bit about the challenges and the growth. What was the most difficult part of transitioning from ministry to law enforcement?
Just the part of this, the biggest part, is that you in the ministry, your goal is, okay, you want to get people saved, you want to get people led to Christ, you want to help people and walk with those people with their problems as long as you can, even when they don't want to be helped. Now I have to walk away from this person who's being abused, who's being hurt, that doesn't want to help themselves. I have to do this to this person who keeps abusing their bodies, who keeps doing these things, and I have to let go of wanting to help them. I'm a person, I want to help you till I can't no more. What's the solution? What's this? What's that? I had one situation. It was a girl. She got abused by her boyfriend. He left. And she called us at first, and she was like, never mind, I changed my mind, which happens a lot in domestics. And when I got there, I didn't want to leave because I knew something happened. I knew she wasn't safe. I knew she wasn't happy. And I wanted to just sit there and help her. And my corporal said, hey, bro, he said, you can't help everybody. He said, you can try, but you can't help everybody. He said, that's a good way to view people, but in this job, you won't be successful that way. So that's the biggest thing. Ministry, I'm going to make sure I'm going to stick with you how long. I got to walk away from you.
But, you know, you could have done the same thing in ministry, set that boundary, but do you feel like it was harder to do that in ministry? Yeah,
because in the ministry, you feel like you're obligated to. You feel like you have to, and there's something great that you said, because starting the ministry at 18, you feel like you are in some way, and this is why we have a lot of problems in the church. You feel like you are a savior, or if not the savior.
Yeah.
You feel like
Savior
you are the
complex.
solution to everybody's problems. So it's hard for you to set those boundaries. It's hard for you to do that, and you just let people invade your boundaries. You let people just call you at any time and say, I have this going on, can you help me over the same issue after issue? But now this job has taught me how to say nope, drawing the line. I care about you, but nope, can't do nothing for you. I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah. Good. Were you good at that before you got this job, setting boundaries?
Heck no.
Yeah.
Heck no. I sucked at boundaries.
But why did this help you do that?
It's just the way they train us. You know, like they emphasize training. They emphasize interacting. They emphasize protecting yourself, because you have to move on. Once you finish this call, you might see a dead person. Then you got to go to do a minor accident. Then you got to sit with an inmate at the hospital. So you have to have those boundaries so you can make sure you're not taking each person's burdens to the next problem, to the next call.
That's a big responsibility. Do you ever miss preaching?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. To some extent, bro, I don't even feel, sometimes be like, is God mad at me? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I
for making the change?
Not the change, but because it's like, am I not preaching because of lack of opportunity, my stubbornness, or is just not that season? You know what I'm saying? Those are 3 important questions. But I do miss it. I miss just being in that bag, just being in my zone and element, because ultimately I feel like that's one of my greatest gifts is delivering his word. I think he has created me to teach people. I miss it, bro. So, you know, I do have an opportunity to speak to some at-risk teens soon in about a month and a half. So I'm excited about that. So, yeah, man, I miss it, bro. Oh, I miss it.
Are you still doing the Nosebleeds podcast thing?
Bro, I haven't been doing anything.
Maybe that could be a way to continue doing that, you know, just in a different way.
Yeah, and I did say this. I said I don't want to lose myself in my career, so I have to start back doing things that makes me happy. Like, you know, all I'm doing is working, take care of my family, take care of my family. I had to start back getting on the lake fishing. I had to start back, you know, looking for opportunity to speak. Like you said, the nosebleeds, just different things like that. I have to. You know, my life just can't be work, family, which those are the most important things, my family for sure. But I have to get back to filling my cup and doing things I'm passionate about too.
Yeah. What has this journey taught you about identity and about calling?
Who you are is going to be who you are no matter what you do. Just because you have power, you have that badge, just because you're in the pulpit, if you're that insecure, broken boy, you're always going to be him, and that's going to bleed out into whatever you do. So is that this. Always look at yourself the way you're supposed to look at yourself. Don't let none of this stuff get to your head, because just because we out there, somebody can knock you upside your head, give you that work. You know what I'm saying? That just drifted. I just had a little rant. But anyway, the biggest thing is just know who you are and know things aren't going to change just because you're doing something different. So it has taught me to, again, look at myself. What things am I doing that's not me? What things are I'm doing that's like, this not your style. This not how you really deal with people. So be yourself. If I'm that goofy, short little dude walking up to people, hey man, what's up? Be him. Be yourself at all times, because being yourself is the only thing that's going to open those doors. Being yourself is going to get you from being in trouble. You know, all of those things, and it's going to make you happy.
What message would you give to anybody considering following in your footsteps, going from one type of public service to an official government type of public service?
First, I don't even think I've seen it all yet. But like they tell us, get ready, buckle your seatbelt for the greatest show on earth, right? But I will say this. Somebody asked me this the other day. I would say this. Make sure it's something that you really want to do, because I say you have to realize you're a target daily. how you move, how you maneuver. You have to have that in the back of your head every day. Even just in my regular clothes and everything, I'm still sometimes like, okay, how I drive is going to affect you. It's going to slowly change you. I'm not even traumatized yet, but I will be, like seriously. But just know that it's going to change the way you view people. I look at every person different. I look at every person the same, scanning them, seeing, oh, is this a threat? Is it not? Trying to, it's a lot of things, but make sure it's something that you can sacrifice. Know you're going to miss birthday parties. Know you're going to miss certain things. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot. Your holidays will never be the same until you get some rank. Just knowing that it's going to change your family dynamic. Will your family support it? Are you okay to take somebody's freedom away? Are you okay to take somebody's child, no matter what they did, from their parent, to take them from their mother, daddy, or their best friend, anything? Are you okay with taking somebody's freedom away? Because once that you're under arrest and handcuffs go on, they're now in your care, custody, and control. You're responsible of that person. And thirdly, do you really understand that you have to be prepared every day to take somebody's life if you have to? We got to stay dangerous at all times out here. You know what I'm saying? But that's your job, to preserve people's lives, to protect others, and to prevent further imminent danger of people. You have to make sure, will I pull that trigger if I'm faced with it?
Do you ever think about that? Every
day. Every day I get on shift, I load my gun, switch my mags. I think about it. Today can be the day. It can happen to me. Today can be the day. It can do to somebody. I hope it never happens, but I have to tell myself that every day, and I have to be locked in and ready.
And you say, like, if there's a threat, you're taking it out.
I have to. That's what I signed up for. That's what I vowed to. I made an oath, and yes, sir, have to. I must.
Man. Oh, wow.
Scary stuff, bro.
Yeah,
scary stuff.
No, like real stuff. Like when you were talking about the churches not as real as the streets, we're talking about real stuff. Like, yeah. Damn. How can we better support law enforcement?
Woo. Okay, who is we?
Us as a community. The community that you all serve. How can we better serve y'all?
Bro, that's a question I don't think. The way I think, I'm going to say, how can we better serve y'all? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's our reciprocation. The public and law enforcement is reciprocation. If I don't know. I think the media is the biggest enemy to it, but it can be the biggest, bridge to bring us together. But honestly, bro, I think it's designed for it to be division when it comes to the community, public, and law enforcement. I think there's just a scheme behind it all, because we really need each other to work. I can't, if you got Jody, the person who been on crack for 10 years, he knows some stuff. So you got to get to know Jody, the crackhead. And then, hey, Jody, let me ask you this, boom, boom, boom. He's going to give you information, but you got to make sure you take care of Jody. Not because of that, but just period. I think if we just walk around taking care of people the correct way, respecting people, then those questions can happen. But I don't know, bro. I really don't know.
Interesting.
And I'm sorry, but I just don't.
No. That's just interesting to hear it that way. Are there any other aspirations you have outside of being a police officer when it comes to law enforcement? Do you want to be an agent? Do you want to be anything other than a police officer?
Man, I think I want to work as an SRO in the schools.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah,
for you, for sure.
I think I really want to do that eventually. About 3 or 4 years in the game, when I want to be the best patrol beat officer I can be first before I move on. But yeah, because I remember the SROs who changed my life growing up. Officer Sneed, Officer Hopkins, Officer Will. Yeah, that's my guy.
Still.
Yeah, so those things like that, I want to pour into the youth that way. Like, I've always been passionate about youth, about children and youth. And I feel like that's my avenue to be with those bad kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to do. I do want to be in leadership one day, maybe rank up someday, but I take it a day at a time, bro. And
I have one final question for you when it comes to your journey as a from preacher to police officer. Have you seen your role positively impact the relationship between, someone? Have you seen anyone be positively impacted by what you've done?
All the time.
Yeah.
Now I do get cussed out every day for random people, like for standing up or helping somebody. I'm getting called the N-word, getting flicked off every day. It's a part of the job. You become numb to it. It's funny. I get called midgets all the time. Like it's
why are people so mean?
They hate us. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I really do, and I would say I can get it. Based off how things are portrayed, based off that fear, we're only hated because we're feared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm in it, so I'm like, you don't have no reason to hate us. We love y'all. We care about y'all. You know, we do, like some of y'all we sick of, but we do have a heart for people. Somewhere, most officers, not all, a lot do have a heart for people. At least the ones I work with. I work with a great department who cares about people. But what's your question? That ADHD be real?
Same, I got it too.
Positive people.
Yeah, how have you impacted people positively?
Yeah, man. All the time, just people like in their crisis, or somebody reports their son or something missing, and you find out information that they're alive, but they don't want to come back home because they're strung out. And it's like you call that person and they're just relieved and they're just thank you. I'm just sitting it somewhere and somebody's like, hey, I want to buy this lunch for you. Thank you for your service. And I'm like, bro, not for Drew. Not who am I? Little things like that. Kids running up to the car. Can I have a sticker? Just little things like that. People waving at you. People just loving you because you're out there protecting them. That's a feeling that just gives me fuel. So yeah,
man, I just want to say that's all my questions, but I want to say, man, I'm proud of you, bro. I can see the change in you. You always have inspired me just based off you want to be a preacher and take that leadership role in that way in the first place. But now that you've actually taken people's lives into your hands in a real way, I can really see that you're right where you need to be, man.
Man, I do appreciate that affirmation, bro. For real.
Sure. Let's take a shot.
Let's go.
Celebrating you, man.
Yeah, man.
This is Fireball. You cool with that?
I'm great with anything, bro.
Whiskey.
Still turn up Drewski, bro.
Yeah. Are there any when you get to the station? Is it a station?
Yeah.
Do y'all have like any cultural things y'all do that keep y'all motivated?
Everybody has their own culture. I gotta listen to Super Gremlins by Kodak or Little Baby Freestyle. That's what I gotta listen to every day.
You gotta turn up a little bit.
I have to turn up, but then I've noticed like, okay, I can't get too turned because I be too turned on some calls where I shouldn't be, and I gotta bring myself down. But some people work out, some people, dress differently. It's just the culture you get. So yeah, man.
Cheers to you, man.
Cheers, my brother.
I'm very, very proud of you, bro.
Hey, bro. God bless, and I do appreciate it.
And that's Andrew Cooper, officer. Excuse me. Let me take a breath for a second. That's Officer Andrew Cooper. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you follow him do you want people to follow you?
Sure. Hey_Drewski on Instagram. I don't post nothing, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And make sure you come back and watch again. Subscribe, like, and do all the social media things. We'll see you next time.
Party never gon' end. Baby, you can bring